HP source. Any hole's a goal. Of course, I followed through. And a bit squelchy. Fuck Blue Peter. 14 kebabs. Sorry, darlings, I'm just winding you up. Well, good evening and a very warm welcome to Monday Night Live with me, Boaty, and I'm going to be coming live into any available orifice over the next, well, gosh, how long? We'll see how we get on, won't we? And let's just pile straight into some lovely comments, shall we? Oh yeah, Jimmy Quinn was here early. Sorry, I'm scratching in my nipular region again, aren't I? I do that sort of thing. Pingu's here. Good evening, Pingu. The lovely Sarah Parsons. A very good evening to you. Bad Books. Joe, the fantastic Cars with JC. Who can't wait to hear all about Stiggy and his 2-page failure sheet? Yeah, we'll get on to that. Sorry, I just need my comfort blanket. And Neil says, Boaty, the sound's dodgy. No, my sense of humour is dodgy, Neil. I just thought it would be funny, that's all. Oh, bit of kebab. There you go. Ben is amongst us, right in our midst, he is. We're walking in the air, but Boats has farted in my hair. Dear me. Pingu's got a question. Oh, I do love a question. And Pingu says, does Stigbürt drive as well as pre-accident, or has it been too long to accurately remember? Gosh, good question, Pingu. About the same, to be honest. Yeah, pretty much the same, I think. No discernible difference. Barry Scrotter is in our midst and says, I wonder which celebs Boaty and Mustard have lined up. We'll be getting onto that as well. Joe says, I can't hear you. Pingu says, hearing aid needed. Neil says, this, the defunds are dropping in and out, but I think he meant sounds there. Sound, says, name me -1. Time for sign language. The mic isn't working, Jason, says Joe. You are silent with your lips moving. Lord Stiff Upper Lip says, hello, sir. Hello to you. Ben replies to Pingu, Stiggy has a slight twitch in the steering when a curb is nearby. And I think Ben is edging up on General Cheeseburger in terms of shithousery. Jimmy Quinn says, the sound is shit, can't hear you. Shite audio again, says John. There's no sound, says Sarah. Just shout and sod the neighbours, says John. Ben says, Jimmy, it's a blessing, really. The other night it was all over the place, says John. Oh, only the intro music, and I didn't do any today. Oh, hello, Cheeseburger's here. Shit, I can hear him now. Good evening, Cheeseburger. Barry is here, that guy from SETI Alpha 5. Hello, sir, how are you? I'm terribly well, thank you, and I hope you are too. Poor Stigbürt, says Sarah. Yes, but at least it's not another tooth. Sarah said, I thought a tooth had fallen out. Yeah, that's better, says Neil. Stiggy's broken with a capital F, says Cheeseburger. Neil is here, aka the Gibbernator. El Gibernatore. Neil, the smouldering, seductive. Ooh, what? I should cocoa. Neil says, hello all. Hope we're all well and in good spirits. How's everyone getting on? Oh, Russ, Dinosaur Dad, who I think is still in the UK, isn't he? I'm just suckling at my newly acquired teat. What do you think of this, darlings? Posh, isn't it? It's got a drinky thing. And you can close it like that. No. Yeah. I was quite pleased with that. Hey, Boats, says Russ. Really sorry timing didn't work for me. Watching you from London before the morning's flight. But at least I got a kebab from Istanbul yesterday. I saw the picture, Russ. Yeah. And I had the same thing today. And I'm sorry the timing didn't work out too. And I didn't realise it was that you were off so soon. I thought there might still be a chance, but never mind. I'm planning to come to Australia to see my mate Chris, my schoolmate Chris. And hopefully sooner rather than later. I just need to become rich and famous first. So if anybody could help me to become rich and famous, then I'll pop down to Australia and see all of you lovely lot who dwell down under. Pingu says, has the Hubnutter replied to your email invitation? Well, I'm going to get on to all of this, Pingu. There is news. There is news. Before I go on, have you all watched the, what was it? Yeah. I think it was the most recent Mustard and Boaty Do lunch. And in it, we came up with an idea where we would invite tricky chaps' words, aren't they? We would invite celebrity YouTubers to join us and film an episode of Mustard and Boaty Do lunch. And we came up with that idea in the during the lunch video. And then, as with most of our ideas, for God's sake, it's just words. It's just the English language. Be better. For God's sake, be better. You've got 7 people watching you. They deserve better than this. Pull yourself together, you useless fat toad. All right, I'll try. Steady on. Yeah, so like with many of our really good ideas, we immediately forgot it and did nothing about it. But today we picked the idea back up and we stroked its ballsack and gave it a gentle squeeze. And I can report that, well, I'll come on to that, but there is news. There is news. Have you got any new plans for next year, say Skick? Hopes, Skip, I would say hopes rather than plans. And the first hope regarding the new year would be that I hope to get, that's not in the middle, is it? That's better. My first hope regarding the new year would be that I'm hoping to get back to Malta. Or more specifically, Gozo, or more specifically than that, Schlendi Bay, or more specifically than that, I mean, I do my best. I rock up here, I sit down, I light the candles, I have a very expensive microphone that cost in excess of 10 of the King's pounds. And my body just lets me down. I can't speak my words. I can't, I come up with a perfectly reasonable sentence and then I burp in the middle of it. God, it's almost soul destroying. It really is. But I'm just going to have to do my best and plow on. And I can only apologize for being, quite frankly, suboptimal. But there we are. Where did I get to? I forgot what. Oh, yeah, new plans for next year. Yeah, so hopes rather than plans. So the first hope would be to spend my birthday at St. Patrick's Hotel, Glendi Bay, Gozo. Probably won't happen, but it'd be nice if it did. That's a tradition that I would like. I mean, for many years, every single birthday I was there, St. Patrick's Hotel, January the 14th, every year. But, well, we'll see. I just need to become rich and famous in the next 4 weeks. Other than that, plans for next year or hopes for next year? No, not really. How boring is that? Oh gosh, no, just try and enjoy myself, I guess. And that's about it, Skip, really. What's happened with your neighbours? Asked Sarah. Well, today when I got home, it was about, what time is it? It was about 10 to 8 when I got home, and I've opened the car up, got an armful of stuff, and my neighbour popped out of his door and called me. I thought, oh, my heart sank. What have I done now? Yeah, he said, Jason, you've I've just walking up the road, and one of your cars, you've left the interior light on. And sure enough, I had. So thanks to him, I've saved a flat battery. So I've taken him off my list of enemies, and he's now my new best friend. Have a safe flight home, Dinosaur Dad, says Joe. And yeah, absolutely. Safe travels. Hope you have an enjoyable journey. And I'm really sorry to have missed you, Ross. But I'm glad at least you got yourself to Istanbul. It's good, isn't it? This is really awkward because I keep going to, and you don't get anything. You have to suck. Honestly, I'm getting a clear insight into the life of a low rent prostitute. All good here, says Barry. Thanksgiving next week. Oh, jolly good. Barry Scratter says, are you off to Dorset, Boaty? Not that I'm aware of. Dorset, where the hell's that? Down south somewhere, isn't it? No, I'm not aware that I'm off to Dorset, am I? Or do you know something that I don't? Should I be off to Dorset for some reason? I hear you broke Stiggy, says Neil. Please tell me you're joking. Paul Smortion is here. Ahoy, Boaty, ahoy to you. And Barry says, careful, you might get a Vegemite sandwich. I don't mind a Vegemite sandwich. Oh, well, it does indeed. Give us a reason to catch up another time. Excellent. Hello, who's this? Boldo. That's a new name to me. I switched over to Boaty's World Live now. Well, good on you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to see you. There's only one person to invite, says General Cheeseburger. Rate my takeaway. He could set his table up in the caravan. He bloody couldn't. There isn't room for it. I have seen one of his videos, or part of one of his videos. He's got a lot of subscribers, hasn't he? For a guy that just goes and, well, I mean, there you go. I suppose I can't knock him. He's only doing the same thing as we do on a Monday, isn't it? And at least he goes to different places and takes his own table. We end up at the same place, or the same one of 3 places, and go to the caravan. Still trying to get the hang of this. Pingu says, Dan's Bangers needs to be mustard and boated. I completely agree with you, Pingu. I completely agree with you. Saturday night, says Bad Books. Both the neighbour's car windscreens got bloody hell. Both of the neighbour's car windscreens got sledgehammered. CCTV picked up 3 lads watching the sledgehammer wielding maniac, and they think the daughter's boyfriend has upset someone. Scary. It does sound bloody scary. Dan Peters is right in our midst. Hello, Mr. Boaty, sir. Hope you're well. I'm grand, thank you, Dan. I hope you are too. Joe says, I like the small tea lights. And plus you get loads for the same price as one candle. Yeah, well, I had them, and I've had a big bag of tea lights under the sink there, just there. You know, I'm showing you there. That's where I keep the sink. I've had a big bag under there for about 8 years, 8.5 years. Well, no, that particular sink, 8 years. And then they were under a different sink for 5 months before that. So I thought, well, I might as well start using them. Now, I don't mind buying a candle, but the candles that I buy are from Tesco, and they've gone up. They used to be 99p. Now they're like £1.29 or something like that. But it's getting to Tesco, you see. It's getting to Tesco. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go during the day because it's too far away. So that means going at night. I'm not going to go on the way to work because I don't go that way to work, quite frankly. I do go past it on the way home from work most of the time, more often than not, I would say. But then I don't really get time to pop in on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday because I've got to get back here to do a live stream. So that means that and Sunday they're closed. So that leaves Friday and Saturday, and they're the late nights at the restaurant. And I'm always too tired. I just want to get home and drink wine. So I thought the tea lights are an admirable. God almighty, you can tell I haven't done one of these for a while. I can't get a single word out. What's going on? Getting all my worms wrong. But yeah, I thought these were an admirable compromise, and I'm very pleased with them too. So I'm glad you approved, Joe. I could actually put 4 because I've got 2 more of these things. These actually live on my fireplace behind you. Look behind you. That's where my front parlour is. And these live on the fireplace, but I don't use the front parlour. I keep getting my mouth in completely the wrong shape for this. And I think that's why I'm struggling with words today. Maybe I should give up on this. Maybe I should pop this in the fridge. And it probably is time I stopped drinking the Vimto because, of course, it will be wine o'clock before we know it. And as you know, if I've got a mouth still with hints of Vimto, it taints the wine, and that's not a good thing. That first sip of wine should be a joy and a wonder. You know what I fancy? I haven't had one for a while. I fancy a nice bottle of wine. Haven't had one for a while, just been drinking the normal cheap rubbish. And so tomorrow night, I think I will pick one of the nice bottles of wine I've got on my booze stand, again behind you in the parlour. And I think I will have that tomorrow night. One of the nice bottles that one of you lovely people were kind enough to buy me. I've got a few there. I will pick one of them, and we'll have a bit of a treat tomorrow night. Why not? Better out than in, says Paul Smortion. And he is, of course, talking about my burp. Plough on, boat, says Bad Books. Joe says, Jason, did you get the new internet? As the live is crystal clear and never taken over by ghosts. No, I haven't got the new internet yet. But I have had warning from PlusNet, who I'm currently with. Oh, God above. Talk about total disintegration of a human body. I have had notification from PlusNet that on the 20th of this month, they intend to take another £54 something from my bank account, the thieving bloody swines. So I don't know when I'm supposed to be swapped over. I'm supposed to be going to BT, British Telecom. And I approve of BT because they used to use Maureen Lipman in their advert. I look as if I've got incredibly small shoulders. Oh, ow. Oh, that was a mistake. I've just tweaked a doing. Oh, now, you have to be careful at my age. You can't just go flexing things, otherwise you tweak your doings. And there's nothing worse than a tweaked doing in my book. Yeah, it looks as if I've got really small shoulders. It's just this top. Obviously, I'm actually built like a cross between a heavyweight boxer and a Greek god, but you all know that. So no, I haven't got the new internet. The lives have been better since I stopped doing them on my elderly iPhone 6 and started doing them on my semi-working iPhone X. But they will get even better next October when I get my next upgrade. So everything will shuffle down one. So next October, whichever brand new iPhone I get will be my filming phone. My iPhone 13, which is currently my filming phone, will become my phone, also occasionally used for filming. And my iPhone 11, which is my current phone, will replace the iPhone X as the live stream phone. So, things will be even better. But yeah, since going to the iPhone X, then touch wood, and this really is wood. It's not like a Rover 25. Touch wood, I've not had any problems with the old interweb, and the picture's been a lot better, and it's a bit more widescreen, which means I have to tidy a little bit more of the kitchen because you can see more of it. How is the new job role going, asked Sarah? Good question, very good question. Kind of quiet, slow, because it's not like a transition. I still haven't got a driver, so I'm not really there full time. I'm still having to bloody run out and deliver. I've made some tweaks. I've brought to be honest, the guys, they've kind of got used to not doing things. And so I've said, right, we're going to be doing things. And there's a little bit of hesitation or recalcitrance. I shouldn't aim for words like that, should I? Not when I'm having trouble with my words. So, and it's, we can't do this, we can't do that, we haven't got time, we need more staff, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, all I've asked them to do is, basic little tweaks. So, because obviously I'm trying to increase business. So I've asked them that when they hand the menu to the customer, so they've seated the customer and they then hand the menus, I've asked them just to mention that the wine list and drinks menu is at the front of the menu, right? Takes no extra time. And it's just pointing out the fact that we've got a really good wine list, hand-picked wine list. I've got some great wines on there, really good wines. So I'm just asking them to highlight that, to push the wine a little bit, not trying to sell it or upsell it, just hand them the menu and just say the wine list and drinks menu is at the front of the menu. I'll be back shortly to take your drinks order. That's all. Not much to ask, doesn't take any extra time. The other thing I've asked them to do, which again doesn't take any extra time, it's just a habit to get into, is that when they go to clear the table, so when they've finished their meals and they're going to clear the table, I've asked them to take the dessert menu. We have a separate dessert menu, and I've asked them to take the dessert menu, put it on the table, say, there's your dessert menu, and then clear the table. Again, really, no matter how short-staffed they might think they are, that doesn't take any extra time. And it just highlights the fact that we have a nice desserts menu. And not everybody is aware of it because nobody ever mentions desserts. So they probably assume that we don't do them because they won't have seen the desserts in the main menu. So unless somebody specifically asks for a dessert menu, they never get referenced. Whereas if we put it on the table, then there are pictures on the dessert menu. So if we put the thing on the table, then it's temptation, isn't it? Now, everybody knows that all Brits have a separate pudding stomach. So it doesn't matter how well they've done on the starters and on the main courses, they've got a separate stomach for their dessert. And if they've got the menu there on the table in front of them and they can actually see the desserts, they're going to be a lot more tempted. So when I've been serving tables, I've done that. And people who wouldn't have ordered desserts have suddenly ordered desserts. So it's trying to get them to keep up with it, though. And the other thing is I've brought back the hot towels, and that does take a little bit of extra time. So they have got a point when they say they haven't got time to do that. The hot towels that we use, they're like little tablets, like that size, about the size of a 20 pence, except that they're rounded, maybe the size of a pound coin, say. And then we have holders, either individual holders that hold one tablet, for want of a better word, or like a platter that holds 5 or 6. And you take that to the table with a jug of boiling water, put it on the table, and then you pour the water onto each tablet, for want of a better word, and they miraculously become a hot, moist towel. It's a nice touch. We stopped doing it during the pandemic. We've got all of the holders sitting there. We've got all of the tablets sitting there. So I've said, we'll bring it back. We'll start doing it again. Oh, we haven't got time, but there we are. So it's kind of, it's kind of work in progress. Plus, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I haven't jumped in with both feet, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So, and I'm trying not to ruffle feathers by jumping in and saying, right, we're going to do everything differently and do what you're told. We're bloody short-staffed as it is. Can't risk pissing them off. Cheeseburger says the interior light was on because the neighbour had chucked a brick through the window. No, I remembered Cheeseburger. I wasn't sure. He just said one of your cars, and I wasn't sure which one it was. And it was actually Sheeson. And then as soon as I saw it, I remembered that last night when I got back from work, I turned the interior light on because I needed to gather some bits and pieces together and put them all in a bag before walking back up the road to home, because I'd left Stigbürt in pole position ready for this morning. And of course, I'd forgotten to turn it off. So note, the neighbour did me a good turn tonight, and I won't hear a word said against him. He's my bestest friend in the whole world. Pulse Motion says, endorse it. I'd recommend it to anyone. And that's a very good joke there. Make sure to leave a like, says Joe. 30 people watching and 11 likes. Oh, 14 likes now, according to my sealed orders from Whitehall. But yeah, I mean, if you'd like to tickle that like button, I would be jolly grateful. Oh, hello, Rover Joe's here. Boaty! And a big virtual hug to Rover Joe. Rover Joe, how lovely. Good evening, Joe. I hope you're well, mate. Hey, Cheesy, says Ross. You'll be proud of the old hire car, 5 Series Beamer. Oh, nice. Oh, the Ken Joji. Haven't seen that name for a while. Boaty, hello. How the devil are you? Cheeseburger says, sounds nice, petrol or diesel? And we'll come back to that. It lives still alive in hell instead of alive and well. And that's the Ken Joji, showing how delighted he is to be back with us. John Moretti says, rate my takeaway. Went for a kebab at the place you drive past every Monday on the way to the Milkston Road. Oh, did he? Which one's that? Ah. Oh, and it's a forbidden fuel estate, says Ross. So that means it's a diesel. How did that gobshite get on the television? Right. We can never have too many Father Ted references. Right. You throw in as many Father Ted references and Fawlty Towers references as you like. Boaty does not bother with the front parlour, says Pingu. He just uses the tradesman's entrance. Chateauneuf du Papa, Sarah. Hardly. My God. I mean, you lot are lovely and generous, but you're not that generous. No, I've got some potentially nice bottles of Pinot Gris, so we'll have one of those tomorrow. Cheeseburger says, Boaty is having a mouth malfunction. Has he had something oversized in it? Yeah, kebab. I am 95% kebab. It's turned into a bloody panto, says Pulse Motion. It's behind you. Joe says, Rover Joe, of course. I managed to finally get the passenger side sill complete. I'll have to send some photos over, Boaty. Yeah, please do. For those who don't know, Joe, who is, ow, bollocks. Oh, that hurt. Joe, who is a relative newcomer to welding, has taken to it like a duck to water. And if you see the photographs of the welding that Joe has done, it is of an enormously high standard. It looks fan-fucking-tastic. Ooh, I don't know why I did that. Maybe to celebrate the fact that it's 33 minutes past 10. 33 minutes past 10. 33 minutes past 10. Where did I get to? 33 minutes past 10. I love German cars, says Cheeseburger. I've been blessed to drive them for years. All right, Cheeseburger. Well done on supporting the Germans there. £54, says Joe. That's mad for internet. Yeah, bloody is. Well, it's just the business model, isn't it? As soon as you've been with them for 12 months and you're out of contract, they hike you up to a ridiculous sum and get away with it for as long as they can. If you ring them up, they'll put you back into contract and you can get back down to 20-something quid. And I just didn't do that for a year or something. So I've been paying well and truly over the odds, and it's my own fault. We all know that these are the business models. We all know that they trick you in with an amazing introductory offer and then fleece you. Take your trousers and pants down and bend you over the dining table. And if you let them do it, then more fool you. Oh, hiccups now. It's not enough with the burps. Now we're getting the hiccups. So I've got nobody to blame but myself. You will be pleased with BT, says Joe. That's what we have, and the internet is 1,000% better. Well, I was with BT before, but they pulled the same trick on me. So, Cheeseburger says Pingu. He doesn't bother with the front parlour. He prefers the back door. Exactly, Cheesy, says Pingu. I mean, it's funny because it's true. I hate food stories, says the Ken Joji, and I ate food stories, says Paul Smortion. I love food stories, says Joe. I don't do dessert, says Cheeseburger. I'd much rather have a starter. Wait, you'd rather have a starter after your meal? That's unusual, Cheeseburger. So you go starter, main, starter. Oh, well, it's unusual, but if it works for you, that's fine. Hot towels are good. You don't need to wash in the morning. Oh, hello. Hello, everyone who's interested. Says the channel name is Project Nigel, but you know and adore him as Captain Mustard or the Hairy Paddington. And I've had a lovely day with my lovely Hairy Paddington today. It's been productive. It's been fun. Well, it's not been that productive. Well, it has been productive. In fairness to Paddington, most of the productivity happened before I got there. I was early this morning. I was actually early. I was 3 minutes early. What do you think about that? And that was despite the fact that, as you will find out in tomorrow's Daily Diary, I had a fuel scare this morning. Oh, yes, I did. Now, when I set off this morning, I was below an eighth of a tank, and I'm in a ZT190. And the fuel light was on. But I thought, right, no problem. It'll get me to Carver Crossroads. Fuel up there. Job's a good one. Get to Carver Crossroads. Shut. They're doing some kind of work there. It was all fenced off. No fuel. And so, oh, God. So I had a panic. I had to mentally try and figure out where all of the nearest fuel stations were and which was going to be quickest. And I thought, well, I could go back to the classic car place down by me, but, you know, I'd left early and I didn't want to go back and retrace my steps. I thought I could do a zigzag and get out to the Texaco in Hathersage and then loop over the Snake Pass and go that way. Or I can just carry on and try and get to Chapel, to the Morrisons in Chapel. And I'm trying to figure out the mileages, and I'm thinking, well, Chapel's going to be about, and I thought it's going to be closer than I think. It always seems like a long way away because I'm always stuck behind something slow. But I bet you it's only 9 or 10 miles. So I decided to chance it and head for Chapel. And, well, long story short, I did get there and I did put fuel in. But it was a bit heart in mouth for a while, and it was a slight detour because I had to go into Chapel rather than just zooming down the bypass. So it's it's a bit of a diversion. But despite that, I was still 3 minutes early, and the Hairy Paddington had been enormously productive. Now, can I tell you? Right, something happened today, and right, I can't tell you about that because I don't want to spoil the surprise. I imagine there'll be a video of that coming out tonight, so I can't tell you about that. I can't. Well, I just won't tell you about anything. But he did things before I got there, and the storm, whatever the storm is called, it's probably got a name. The storm was biblical in the yard. I mean, it was blowing large stuff around, and there was wind and rain, and it was cold. So we kind of took quite a lot of shelter in the caravan, but we were productive in the caravan. And I don't mean in a sexual way, quite honestly. But we'll get on to all of that. Evening, Paul, says Cheeseburger, and that is directed at Paul. And that's the giveaway, really. Hi, Nigel, says Paul. And that's Paul Smallshan rather than the Paul that Cheeseburger was saying hello to, which is Paul Roverman, although that's not his real name. His real name is Neil Roverman. You can't beat a hot, moist towel, says Bad Books. Pingu says one of us. No idea what that's about. Ross says hi, Mustard. Joe says hello, Paul. And that could be Paul or Paul that he's referring to there. Good afternoon, says Pingu. Oh, sorry. No. Good afternoon, says Pingu. Do we talk about hydrogen on this channel? You can talk about anything on this channel, but that is, of course, a little homage, a little good afternoon homage to the lovely Mr. Joseph Lloyd. With whom Mustard and I had a conversation today, and that was nice. Evening, Mustard, says Bad Books. Captain Mustardo, says Ben, the saviour of hot towel action. Well, Pingu, Boaty is passing a bit of it. God, no idea. Forbidden fuel, he means diesel. It's a Lloyd Vehicle Consulting reference. It's another Father Ted. That gobshite again. Is he never off the air? Oh, and John says it was the kebab shop on the right before the railway bridge, supposed to be famous. Oh, well, we'll have to go there one day, won't we? Only electric power is forbidden for cars, says the Ken Joji. I don't think so. Don't mention the tooth, unless it's a city car. Farty towels. Flowery twats. Well, that's two of them. Right, what we appear to be doing now is a faulty towers off, where you try and obviously at the beginning of every episode, the letters to faulty towers were rearranged to read something else, and I'm pretty sure those are genuine ones. Flowery, I think. God, was flowery twats a genuine one? I've got a feeling it was. You wouldn't get away with that now, would you? Amazed they got away with that in the 70s. That thing Boaty acted now, it inspired me. Oh, good. I like to be an inspiration. Stephen Wilson is with us and says, good evening from Gibraltar, where the monkeys are active and the fags are cheap. I have a W Reg Rover 75 back in the UK. Oh, jolly good. Excellent. Well, we approve of that. Hello. Looking forward to the good news, says Mustard. I hear you're a racist now, Father. Keep the Father Ted's coming in. I should write a script about I should write a script about a sociopathic ex-heroin junkie who lives in a distant hilly area and trades cars while using old underground connections, starring Boaty in the leading role. Well, if it pays, I'll do it. She cannot take it anymore, Captain. God, are we doing Star Trek references now, Barry? Oh, dear. I wonder if that's one of those things that, was that ever said in Star Trek? Because unless I'm imagining it, the famous beam me up, Scotty, wasn't it a fact that that was never actually said? Now, here's the thing. Look at this. Hope you can still hear me. This is going to be my supper. Now, in there, you've got a bit of frozen curry. Still frozen. I just put it in there to gradually defrost. Look at that. You've got saucepan sweat. You've got an even line of saucepan sweat where the curry is. That must be some sort of chemical shit. And it's left saucepan sweat underneath as well. So the hob has got saucepan sweat on it. So you've got ambient room temperature metal. You put frozen liquid, I suppose, curry sauce, isn't it? You put frozen liquid in and it creates saucepan sweat. Does anybody want to explain that to me? I'm very stupid when it comes to anything chemical. I like playing Fuel Jeopardy, says Cheeseburger. Mine was reading on 0 miles last week. Oh, Storm Debbie. Thank you, Joe. We did guess at what the storm was called in today's driving to the Milkston Road to pick up a takeaway video. And I think I remembered that the last storm was called, God, I was going to say celiac. It was Kieran, wasn't it? And must have said with a K, and I said no, with a C. So we knew that the next storm would begin with a D, this storm. And we thought it might be fun if it was called Doris. But apparently it's not. It's called Debbie. She obviously got fed up of doing Dallas and decided to do a bit of blowing over here. Good old Debs. You can't knock her. Well, apparently you can knock her, and many have. Okay, feature number 1. I mean, we're 46 minutes in. We haven't had a feature yet. So let's have a feature. Have you ever done anybody called Debbie? And now I'm trying to think if I have. I'm terrible with names. Have I ever done a Debbie? I don't think I've had a relationship with a Debbie. That doesn't mean I haven't porked one then. Was Swansea called Debbie? You've got to, oh dear, and I'm not being disrespectful, it's just that there was quite a long period, as I mentioned before, where my girlfriends, I called them after where they were from, because then I didn't get confused. Like if I'm not in a relationship, if I wasn't in a relationship and I had casual girlfriends, and you're not in a committed relationship, so you're not, tied to any particular one, and that works both ways. It was a two-way street. Then often there would be 2 or more with the same name, and that can get confusing. And I'm terrible with names full stop, so I used to call them where they were from. I've told you this before. This isn't coming as a surprise to you. And I've just got a feeling that Swansea might have been a Debbie. I've got no idea where. Oh, hang on. Oh, was she a Tracy? Well, let's put it out there. This is the internet after all. If your name is Debbie and you and I have slept together, then do let me know. Thank you. And you don't get that on Hubnut live streams. Only the farm takes up most of the day, says Ross. And like a cup of tea of a night time. Eh? What? Oh, sorry, we're back to Father Ted Ross. Sorry. Only the farm takes up most of the day. And I like a cup of tea of a night time. And I mightn't be able to commit to the old racism. That was a great bit. Oh, dear. Cheeseburger says it's a shame Storm Debbie didn't blow a rover or two around for you. Well, yeah, indeed. The storm is blowing like a glass blower's arse here, says Bad Books. Hello again, says Mustard. Just finished today's stupid video. I'm definitely here now. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. From now on in, Mustard is with us. He's in us. He's amongst us. He's all around us. He's holding him. He's holding us, you and I, in a manly embrace. So do what I do, darlings. When you embrace Mustard, arch your body away, because you don't want undercarriage to undercarriage contact. You don't want to be poked by his protuberance. And yeah, so that would be my strong advice to you. God, we were talking about unwanted erections for an unusually long time today. God almighty. Sometimes I do think that our topics of conversation, we must come across as two of the most repressed homosexuals in the history of mankind. Oh, God. I think it's either in the lunch video or it's in another video. Oh, not our lunch video, but there's going to be another video where we do the inviting celebrities to Mustard and Boaty do lunch. That's going to be a video. We did a separate thing. We didn't mean to, it just happened, and we started inviting people and we got responses, and I'm going to tell you all about them. But I'm going to make you wait until I've had a mouthful of wine, because I'm really looking forward to a mouthful of wine. I'm looking forward to several mouthfuls of wine. And I'm just gazing at the clock. I mean, I'm also gazing longingly into your eyes, because I think that you're all beautiful and wonderful and fantastic. And I'm enamored of you. I am smitten by you. I am so the smitten kitten. But I'm also looking at the clock, because I'd rather like to be smitten by a glass of wine. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'll just gaze into your eyes. Oh, God, you're lovely. Sitting there in your underpants, with your leg hair waving in the gentle, calming evening breeze. Oh, God, honestly, I'd do anything to you, for you. Where was I? Oh yeah, Mustard's here, so that's nice. So, well, what should we do with Mustard? We've got him here, and he's guaranteed to be here for the next hour. So, have any of you got a question that you would like to ask Mustard? And I will guarantee that anybody who has a question for Mustard, I will read it out and I will pester him until he gives you a full, frank, and honest answer. Oh, and Mustard confirms that yes, Flowery Twats was a genuine Faulty Towers thing. I thought it was. You'd never get away with that. Well, you would get away with it now, I suppose. You wouldn't have got away with it. There was a period of political correctness where you wouldn't have got away with it. I remember John Cleese, who of course was originally John Cheese. I remember Cleese talking about stuff that they were amazed they got away with in Monty Python. The one that always sprung to his mind was the Undertaker's sketch, where I can't remember it exactly. One of you lot will know it. When somebody came in and was kind of appalled by the price of having his mother undertaken, his mother who passed away, and Cleese, as the Undertaker, suggested that they could eat her. And then called into the back. John, we've got an eater. And he said, you know, it's amazing that the BBC allowed them to get away with it. But there you go. That was the permissive 1970s for you. And then we entered a kind of something like a 20-year period of political correctness where you weren't allowed to say anything bad on the BBC. And you certainly wouldn't have been allowed to have the word twats on the opening credit to a family sitcom. And now we're into the whatever we're into. And anything goes, it appears. You can say anything. I mean, for God's sake, they've said fuck on Radio 4. I was outraged. I mean, fuck on Radio 4. Can you believe it? I never thought that day would come. And we've had hot lesbian sex action on the Archers. Honestly, the world has gone to rack and ruin. Okay, feature number 3. Feature number 1 was, have you ever done anybody called Debbie? Feature number 2 was, have I ever done anybody called Debbie? Feature number 2A was, have you got a question for Mustard? Ask it, I will read it out and I will force him to answer it. And if he doesn't answer, I'll make up an answer and pretend he said that. And then feature number 3 is the one that I've just said. Or did I just say it? Or did I not say it? Did I just say it was feature number 3? Anyway, feature number 3 is stuff that happens now that you wish didn't happen, like it didn't happen back in the days of something. And feature number 3A is, what are you glad that happens now that wasn't allowed to happen back in the days of... I mean, do you think it's a good thing, basically, that people say fuck on Radio 4? Or do you wish it was the old days where you could tune into Radio 4 and there wouldn't be a fuck in sight? So over to you on that one. Barry says, oh God, Barry's gone for some sort of Star Trek Lloyd Vehicle Consulting mashup. You cannot change the laws of physics, Captain Mustard. We don't talk about diesels on this channel. And that's just weird. Nigel and another stupid video. Jimmy, right, yes. Yeah, Barry says, yes, Scotty did say I'm giving it all she's got, but they never said beam me up, Scotty. You wouldn't like it, Ken. Oh, I see. That's in response to Ken Josie. Right, yes. Okay. Cheeseburger's got a Star Trek quote. Mustard returns from the MOT station. It's worse than that. It's fucked boats. It's worse than that. He's dead, Jim. Dead, Jim. You lot, you're not actually doing Star Trek quotes, are you? You're doing quotes from Star Trekking by the firm. I know you are. That's what's coming out here. Boldly going forward, because we can't find reverse. Physics and condensation, says Ross. Yeah, but I don't understand the physics of condensation. How does it work? Bad Books is going down the Faulty Towers route. Well, what view do you want? Herds of wildebeest sweeping majestically across the plain. And Ross goes on. Warm air in the room touches the cold pan and the air rapidly cools to water. Is that what air is then? Warm water? I never knew that. Hang on. Let's think about this. Air is H2O. No, it isn't. No, that's water. Water is H2O. So what's air? And how does air turn into water? How does that work? So if air, hang on. Right, hang on, Russ. So if you're saying that warm air, and I will admit that the air around me is warm because I've got the central heating on, at enormous expense, I might add. 3 minutes to wine time. We'll get there, darlings. Stay with me. Cling to the wreckage. Cling to me. Cling to each other. Cling to your underpants. Cling onto your little tinkle. Cling onto Captain Mustard's tinkle. That'll save you from drowning. So hang on. Right. So, Ross, you're saying that warm air touches the cold pan and the air rapidly cools to water. Okay. So when it's really cold in winter, How come all of the air around you doesn't turn to water and we all drown or suffocate? I think you've made a mistake there, quite honestly. Barry weighs in on the feature number 8. No, I've never podgered a Debbie, says Barry. I have podgered a Desiree though. God, have you? That is anybody really called? Oh, is it Desiree? Desiree, maybe. Is anybody really called Desiree? I thought the only people called Desirees were drag acts. Not that I'm accusing you of podgering a drag act, Russ. Was that Russ? It was Russ, wasn't it? Debbie is going to many of us, says Mustard. Okay. Like the inside of a car window, says Russ. Again, no, I'm not buying that. Done it, Debbie, says Cheeseburger. Pay them an extra tenner and you can call them anything you want. Boaty Classic says bad books. I'm terrible with names. I am terrible with names. Gina in the back of his Cortina. Ian Dury, ROP, says Cheeseburger. Oh, and now we're doing a joint. Oh, we're in Fox Towers. Hello. I speak good English. That was, of course, was Manuel with the... Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, it was Manuel, and he was kneeling underneath the front desk, wasn't he? And the Major thought it was the moose talking. Oh, God bless the Major. I learned it from a book, chimes in Cheeseburger. That would be an ecumenical matter. I am, says Mustard. You are what? The MOT man likes a hug from me. We all like a hug from you, Mustard. Oh, fatty owls. Well done. Yeah, that was another one. The widge clearances, says Ben. Very important. Cheeseburger says, Mustard and Boaty invited a load of internet celebs for lunch. The police arrived after complaints had been received. We did cover that. Oh, it was warty towels, says Bad Books. Oh, well done. Sam Peckinpah salad days. What? Cleese is on GB News now. KGB News now. KGB News. Bloody hell. Obviously short of a few bob. Yeah, well, he's always getting cleaned out in divorces, isn't he? Ah, okay. A question from Mustard from Carlos Fandango Super Wide Wheels. Mustard, question for you. Open your ears. Why do you like this twat? Quite good. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. Oh, and I didn't put the wine in the freezer. Oh, God, I'm useless. Never mind. Look, I left a bit last night. I must be ill. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. Looking forward to this. Yeah, Cleese is always getting cleaned out in divorces. He's very open about it. Right. Cheers, darlings. You're very good health. Bottoms up. Up yours. Knickers down. Excellent. Steve Dull is with us. Boaty's World. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. That's quite good. Oh, excuse me. Cheeseburger says air turns to water. It's called condensation. That's why a condenser dryer collects a bucket of water. No, it's not. A condenser dryer collects a bucket of water because it has wet clothes in it. That's not air turning to water. That's the water coming out of the clothes and being collected. That's why you have a dryer, to dry wet clothes. Think of Cheeseburger. You haven't thought this through at all. It's called rain or snow, says Russ. Well, no, Russ, no disrespect, but you're wrong. Right? If that's how rain works, then how come it rains when it's not cold? You can get summer rain. Belinda Carlisle did a song about it. She just sang it. She didn't write it. Oh, and I should have got that. Oh, I was going to say I should have got that CD out of the car, but I can download it, can't I? And put it onto my portable electric telephone. I've got 6 CD albums in Brian. And of course, Brian has been parked up at the yard now for just over 4 years. And I and I quite miss those CDs. And one of them, actually 2 of them, are Belinda Carlisle. The first one, what's it called? Heaven on Earth or whatever it's called. And then Runaway Horses. And Runaway Horses wasn't a bad album, considering that it was a pure pop album, which are normally rubbish. But that wasn't bad. There was some good stuff on there. And one of them was called Summer Rain, which categorically disproves Ross's theory that all air turns to water when it gets cold. Absolute nonsense. And Cheeseburger's talking crap as well, trying to tell me that a condenser dryer collects a bucket full of water because the air turns to water. No, no, no. The dryer brings the water out of the clothes and puts it into a bucket. And that's how it works. Bad Book says, our physics teacher had a lisp. He said specific heat capacity instead of specific heat capacity. Done a Debbie, says Cheeseburger. Oh, that's a question. Has anyone done a Doris? Well, I mean, somebody will have done a Doris. I haven't. I don't think I've even met a Doris. Ben. Boaty, ask Mustard, do Tony and the Bandit have a resident spider? And if so, what is its name? They've probably got a resident bloody mouse. And for those who don't know, Tony and the Bandit are Mustard's old work boots. Nice one, Bad Books. Bodger's done a Doris. Yes, he has. Oh, should we talk about that? What do we think about Suella Braverman being sacked? What do we think about, well, I mean, I'm sure we probably all think the same thing about that dreadful woman. And I don't suppose many of us care about James Cleverly being promoted to Home Secretary. What do we think about Call Me Dave being made Foreign Secretary when he's not even an MP? And what do we think about the man who gave us the gift of a Brexit referendum? What do we think about him being Foreign Secretary? What's he going to do next? Declare war on France? I bet he'll be really glad to be back in government because it means that he beat Boris. He and Boris were always very competitive. And it means that he's like last man standing in government, whereas Bojo's had to, well, or will Bojo come back? Who knows? Let's see if your glass gets a bit wet on the outside while the wine is chilled. Again, I'm not buying it. Not buying that. I think this is a wind-up. Cheeseburger says, Ross, condensation, cold fluid on a warm glass. Well, it's not a warm glass. The glass came out of the fridge, so it's not warm. The good title. Oh, I forgot about title. Yeah, you lot need to come up with the title. Title, says Ben. Good news, but you lot don't deserve to hear it. Oh, bless you, Neil. Yes, Neil is going to save Brian, bless him. Next month he's going to save Brian, and I will order a new exhaust if I can get one. Another title from Ben. Underneath the Archers, Debbie does Doris. I quite like that. Let's... I had a resident mouse in the garage, says Cheeseburger. The wife used to feed it. I had one in my Boaty's hub, my converted double garage at home. And I didn't mind it until it started living in the toaster and shitting in it. And that really annoyed me. Oh, hang on. Ross says, that'll be the centrifugal force on the spin cycle of the washer. Dryer is condensation caused by warm air. Is it, bugger? Here we go, a left-wing political rant from Boaty. Cleverly will be a better Home Secretary than Braverman. But then again, my cat would be better. Oh, health review. Call me Dave, says Barry, is a wet-lipped buffoon who looks like he should be playing a trombone in a Lurpak advert and not a rusty one. Oh, I quite like that. Oh, dear. Cameron's finally got a peerage against the lobbying odds, so he couldn't give a rat's ass, says Bad Books. Neil says, also, condensation is caused by an endothermic reaction of the cold object chilling the metal object, being a warmer temperature, so condensation occurs. I can barely read that, let alone understand it. Mark Passad is with us. Evening all. The sooner this shower gives us a chance to give our opinion on their ineptitude in a general election, the better. Steve Doyle says, politics, fuck this, I'm out here. And I have caught up with the comments. I'm a very good boy. I've done very well. And that means I can start telling you about stuff because I don't have to worry about not reading out the comments. Video title, condensation. You cannot change the laws of physics. We'll screenshot that. I like that. I don't think that is the law of physics, though. I'm not accepting that air turns into water. No, I'm not accepting that at all. Absolutely not. And Neil is just saying I did very well in science at school. Yeah, I didn't, as you can probably tell. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's move on. Bad Book says relative humidity is in the air. I don't know what that means either. You're all talking nonsense. You're all talking absolute nonsense. Not one of you has got a clue what you're talking about. Thank God I'm here as the voice of sanity and reason. Now then, this morning, have you been keeping up with the favourite white wine brand under £8? Gosh. Okay, I think that Sainsbury's do a rather good Muscadet Sèvres et Main, and I think that is at the £7.99 mark, or it certainly is when it's on offer. I'd go for that one. Oh, so sorry, excuse me. Oh, God, it's gone 11 o'clock and I'm just falling apart. Right, Stigbürt news. If you've been watching the Daily Diaries, which of course channel members can watch on the first day, and they get 24 hours of viewing advert free because they're channel members and they are just better than the rest of you. And they deserve the special treatment. They're not really better than the rest of you. They are. If you've been watching the Daily Diaries, you will. Hello. Title: Endothermic reactions. Watch out, ladies. The Gibbonator is at large. I love a Muscadet, says Mark Pazad. Tizer says Bad Books. I love a Muscadet too. I discovered Muscadet when I started semi-living in France. I hadn't come across one before. I was given one. Well, I wasn't given one. Well, I was given one. I don't know the right word. I mean, I bought it. So I wasn't given it. But then I didn't choose it. So I was given it. It was at a lovely rustic little restaurant. And it was one of those restaurants where you have like a plat du jour. So in other words, you just get what you're given on any particular day. and that included a bottle of the house wine, and it was a muscadet, and it was so fantastic that I took a picture of the bottle because I thought, I don't know this wine and I need to know this wine. And I took a picture, and I still have that picture. It was in my pre-Apple days. We're going back a while. God, we're going back a good while because my mother was there at the time, and she's been spending time dead for some time now. It was in my BlackBerry days. God, remember those? But I've still got the picture on my little laptop, the one that I now use to run my P-scan. Is it a laptop or a notebook? It's a Sony VAO. And it cost me £2,000 back in the day. I've shown it to you before, so I won't show it to you again. Stigbürt news, says Joe. Yes, Stigbürt news coming up. Found my regular Australian Hardy's Red in Sains Bob's. Well, here, says Russ. Made me very happy indeed. Is this genuine, Cheeseburger? Cheeseburger says, I looked up the Boaty's world stats today. He makes £2 a week, apparently. This is outrageous. We need pickles with the Momo as well. I'd love to know if that's genuine. I'd love to know if I've been monetized long enough that I appear on those, because there are websites where you can go on it and it tells you how much each YouTuber earns, and it's invariably wrong. But it gives you an idea. And the last time I checked, Mustard's on there, but the last time I checked, I wasn't on it. Obviously too new, or I don't earn enough. But £2 a week is about accurate. In fact, if you want to talk about the money side of things, my best performing video, and we're talking about ad revenue here, not fan funding. My best performing video is currently at, I think it's £8.85. And that video is the Jaguar I-Pace video. That video has earned me £8.85. And on the one hand, I think, well, that's crazy. That's just pennies. But then on the other hand, I've been paid £8.85 for just making a video, and I think that's brilliant. But most of them earn about between 0 and 7 pence. So thank God for you, lovely lot, and your super chats and your channel memberships and all of that. Because God knows I make sod all on ad revenue. I'm still the smallest of fish in a very large sea. Yeah, my highest earning video is £8.85, and my highest viewed video is 6,800 and something views. So tiddly, really tiddly. Yes, Stigbürt news, says Bad Books. I've got to be up before the crack of dawn, and that's not Darby's sister. Oh, okay. Ross says Cheeseburger. Hardy's is my go-to. Ben says, steady, Joe. Give it another half an hour and you still won't have heard a whisper about Stiggy. I'll get onto it. I've been watching the Daily Diary, says Joe, and all of your wonderful video. But I have been revising for my bus PCV test at the same time and forgetting to comment before going on to the next video. Sorry. Don't be sorry, Joe. Keep us up to date with your journey to becoming a bus driver. We're all... Oh, and talking about keeping people up to date, our friend John Stoodley. Now, you might remember that the other night he was talking about the mini strokes or TIAs he's been having, and the fact that he had some checks and they found a clot, and they said that they could operate to clear it, but there's a small chance that it wouldn't go well, so on and so on. Well, John messaged me today to let me know that he's as we mentioned, I think we all said the same thing. We'd all, in his situation, we'd all have the surgery and take that chance, because you don't want to go through he'd been told that the next mini stroke he had might not be a mini stroke. It might be a major one. It might even be fatal. And the clot was going to cause more. So I think we all said that, yeah, we'd take the chance and have the surgery. Well, he's going for his surgery, and he has said it's all right for me to talk about this, by the way. So I'm not talking out of school. He messaged me to say that he's going for surgery first thing in the morning, and he's shitting himself, quite understandably. So I sent a message back, and I said that we'd all be with him. We will all be sending positivity and love and thoughts, and that we'll all be there with him when he comes out the other side, and to help him on his road to recovery. So yeah, just sending out thoughts to John. So do send out a bit of positivity. It's quite natural for him to be incredibly nervous. We all would be in that situation. We may have been in that situation. So let's send him just every good thought and every good wish for a quick recovery. And hopefully won't be very long before he's back on a live stream with us amongst his friends where he belongs. And he did say that he appreciates all of your kind words and kind thoughts so much, and he loves being part of this community. So there we go. So between now and tomorrow lunchtime, because I don't know exactly what time the surgery is, he probably doesn't either, then let's just keep those positive thoughts rocking and rolling. And Joe, every good wish to you for your new career, and do keep us up to date. And I will get on to Stigbürt news, I promise. Momo and chutney always looks amazing, says Mike. It always tastes amazing too. If any of you guys can make it up here, then do order some Momo and chutney from me. You won't regret it. It's absolutely fabulous. That's genuine, Boaty, says Cheeseburger. You are on. Oh, God, am I? Am I really? And is that what it says I make? £2 a week? Oh, look, Ma, I'm famous. Check me out earning £2 a week on YouTube. Let's work that out as an hourly rate. So I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I do 4 live streams a week. Let's call that 5 hours. And I do 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing videos and editing. That's at a bare minimum. So let's say let's round it up, 20 hours. So I do 20 hours a week, and I earn £2 a week. So what's that an hour? So that's £2 divided by 20. Divided by 10 is hang on, 20. So divided by £2 divided by 10 is 20p. So double that, no, half that to divide by 20, 10p. Yeah, so I work on YouTube for 10 pence per hour. And I'm not worth that, am I? Ben says, cheesy. We all know Boaty is on, but the question is, on what? Christ knows, Ben. On a promise with the Tooth Fairy, says Ben. I'm owed a fortune by the Tooth Fairy. I haven't had a penny for this bugger. When this one fell out, I just put it there. And it's just, I haven't done anything with it. I don't know what to do with it. Throw it away, make a necklace out of it. Oh, dear. Mustard made a very good joke about my teeth today with the MOT testing man in charge owner chap. And I should have been offended. It was so funny, I nearly wet myself. Oh dear. It's going brilliantly, says Joe, talking about his bus driving career. Passed my medical, well done you. Now got to pass my PCV theory test on the 30th. And then I'm off to bus driving school. I'm jealous. I really want to drive a bus again. I have driven a bus, but not the bus I want to drive. I've driven a Route Master, a double-decker, very illegally. I've told you that story before. The bus that I would love to drive is the one that Hubnut drove, a Leyland National. That's the bus that I kind of grew up with. That's the bus that I went to town on. That's the bus I went to college on, and I would love to drive a Leyland National. I really, really would. So if anybody knows anybody with buses, if anybody knows the people that Hubnut got to drive a bus with, if any of you know them and you could pass the word that it's something that I would love to do, and you've got any influence with them so you can persuade them to let me have a go, please do, and I would love you forever. Best wishes and love to John, says Cheeseburger. Absolutely. John, big love, says Ben. Thinking of John at this difficult time, says Joe. Good luck with your surgery. He will read these comments at some point, so that's lovely. In fact, I might even, I might screenshot them and send them to him. Hold on. There we go. Positive, all best wishes to John. That's from Ross and Mark and lovely. Oh yeah, make Mustard answer, says Carl. Mustard, you haven't answered the question. Oh dear. Thank you, Jason and Ross, says Joe. Not sure what for. We're all sending love to John. Brilliant. Neil says, oh yeah, Boaty, can I do another Momo order? You absolutely can. I'm going to double up this time. Can I get 200 with chutney and I'll bring you a chill box back up? Absolutely, Neil, no problem at all. 200 with chutney. Noted. Oh, that's a very sweet title, Ben. John Stoodley, the man, the myth, and our lovely friend. I like that. I like that. Well, screenshot that as well. Yeah, 10p, says Bad Books. That's it. I work for 10p an hour. Go me. Oh, Ross says, I'll say goodbye. I need some rest. I'll see you on the other side in a couple of days. Safe travels, Ross. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry I missed you when you were here, mate. I'd have loved to have met you, but next time for definite. And we will catch up with Ross. Oh, God knows when. Maybe Wednesday night. If not, definitely Thursday night. Joe says, I'll be ordering some Momo next year when I'm back up to the yard. 100%. Don't calculate the hourly rate, says Mark. You do it for love. Tricky things, numbers, says Ben. They are. Now we're all wishing... oh, well done, Neil. Neil's going to take Joe some Momo. What a star. Oh, Cheeseburger's driven an MCW double-decker. It's hard. It certainly is. Everybody's sending love to Ross. That's nice. Boaty drives a national. Oh, yeah, you Mustard. What does humidity mean? Yes, Joe. Shall I bring a bus up to Windy Bottom to review? Oh, God. Oh, thank you, Joe. Joe's got a screenshot for me. Yeah, Jimmy Quinn says, Boaty, that's 5p an hour too much. I knew somebody would say that. And we're all wishing Ross a happy... Bad Book says, I've only driven a smiley-faced transit minibus through the centre of Amsterdam's red light district as I took a wrong turning. Oh, and Mustard apologises, but he had to go again. And now he's back. Right, where did I get to? Okay, Stigbürt news. So, if you've been watching the Daily Diaries, you'll know that I've been playing a bit with Stigbürt. I had a new windscreen fitted because his windscreen had a bloody great big crack in it. So he's got a new windscreen. I P-scanned him to within an inch of his life and cleared all the error codes, which have already come back again. What else did I do? I cleaned him, washed him. I pulled out the airbag fuse so the airbag light isn't on and the airbags won't work, which suits me. I don't want my other bloody seat being ruined. I'll just try not to crash it again. What else did I do? Anyway, and today Stigbürt went for MOT. And I can tell you, he passed. He passed. Stigbürt has got a new MOT. And so, but that is not the be all and end all. But it's great news. It is great news. So we know that Stigbürt is a going concern. We know that he's still a bit of a, well, yeah, all right, Ben. It did take me half an hour, yeah. Well, it took me 25 minutes. I'll hold my hands up to that. So that we know that he's a decent car. The mileage is, he's just clicked over onto 80,000. Well, I think he's 80,400 and something now. So he's got his MOT. There are advisories, but we don't talk about advisories on this channel, viewers, or we don't worry about them too much. Well, not immediately. We'll worry about them when we can afford to do something about them. Very slight blow on the back box of the exhaust. On the join, there's a very small hole. That's obviously going to get bigger. That's an advisory. There's an advisory on the exhaust being corroded. So basically, he's going to need a new exhaust at some point. But, you know, we can worry about that down the line. The point is, he's legal. Thank God for that. Other advisories. Corrosion to the rear suspension arms and corrosion to a front coil spring, I think it was. So he's going to need some new bits, but no mention of any corrosion to the body or the sills or anything like that. So he's solid, he's decent. So that's brilliant. However, right, the MOT was a little bit of, there was a bit of, gosh. Oh, there were two words that, yeah, there was a bit of jiggery and there was a bit of pokery. He passed the MOT on Liz's wheels and tires, which Liz very kindly lent to me off her MG ZT, which is at the yard and had the same wheels, but much better tires, Avon turbo speeds. I could never afford those in a million years. Now, Liz needs her wheels back, bless her, because she's moving her car from the yard to a new place. So I've got to give those wheels back, which means that I've got to, oh, thank you, Joe. So that means I need to sort some tires out. And obviously that's the bit of jiggery, and the bit of pokery is the fact that the ABS is still an issue. And in theory, the airbag is still an issue and the seat needs repair. So we've managed to get the MOT thanks to a bit of allied jiggery and pokery. So that's all good. And that means that he's like a, you know, at least he's a road going thing now. And I had a fabulous drive to the yard in him this morning, apart from the fuel jeopardy. And I had a less fabulous drive home because, oh God, the weather. Oh, and I'll tell you something, now I think about it. I'm not surprised I had that little accident in the curb, because I noticed driving home tonight, it's something about the 75 stroke ZT. And it's something about, it must have a narrow windscreen or something. So I just noticed that I was having to really concentrate more than I would expect in the rain and the pitch black, and it was driving rain I drove home through. For some reason, peripheral visibility seems to be limited. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's the shape of the windscreen or the narrowness of the windscreen. But so, and I remember that on the night that I had the thing, the weather was, atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And, there were a couple of times tonight driving in, and it really was bad weather. Traffic was down to, on a 60-mile-an-hour road, all traffic was down to 30 miles an hour. The visibility was that poor. But it just seems to be a bit poorer for some reason in that car. Don't know why. But anyway, what was I talking about that? I've completely lost my train of thought now. Yeah, but there's still those bits and pieces to do. So I did. Oh yeah, that's it. I was talking about enjoying the drive, and yeah. So so at least it's legal. At least he's got his MOT. So that's grand. Very happy about that, and it means he can be used. Oh, and I can tell you that at the beginning of December, 3, 2, 1. Apologies for that. I blame the saucepan sweat, to be honest. It's something to do with the humidity of the air, you see, because when warm air meets cold wine, it creates a burp, and that is just a chemical process. Ross will tell you all about it, except that he's busy sleeping at the moment and then traveling to Australia. So there we are. Yeah, so there are still jobs to do. The first job is going to be to sort tires out because Liz has got to have her wheels back before the end of the month. Well, sorry. The second job is to sort tires out because Liz has got to have her wheels back before the end of the month. The first job is to figure out how the bloody hell I'm going to pay for the tires that I need to get because Liz needs her wheels back before the end of the month. And then the other jobs will be sorting the ABS out. I'm going to bribe Neil with Momo to do that at some point. There's no rush. Now he's got his MOT, there's no rush. The airbags will probably never be sorted. Sod them. Unless somebody finds a clever way to, I don't know. I'll find a way around that. In the meantime, the fuse can just stay out. I would like to get the seat repaired. So, and I think that is doable. I just need to find one of those trimmers. And I think there might be one in Codner, somewhere near a customer of ours where I deliver. I see that there is a car interior, like CT repair place. And I think Liz mentioned one previously that's in Stockport. That's not a million miles away. So I'd like to get that done. And if I'm getting that driver's seat repaired, I'd also like to get the base, whatever you call it, the bottom bit. I'd like to get that restuffed or whatever you do to them. So I think at some point before you, I think it's had a large personage in there because the seat is all a bit, down and compressed. So I'd like to get it restuffed or replumped or whatever you do to them. So yeah, that's on the list. And obviously the MOT advisories, but we've got an MOT. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. So that means that at the beginning of next month, darlings, the beginning of December. Oh, hang on. That's John. Hi, Jason. This is my last message before the up in the morning, and I'm booked in for 8:30 a.m. and I'm sat here in tears typing this message, mate. John. Oh, bless him. Oh, what shall I say? Okay. Right. Hold on. How do I save that? Sorry, guys, bear with me. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, hang on, I've lost track of where I am now. Where did I get to? Diddly-do, diddly-do. Oh, John, bless him, bless him, bless him. I've got no idea if he's watching or not. But yeah, he has pinged, so 8:30. So 8:30 tomorrow. Let's all he'll be fine. He'll be fine. If we all send a bit of positivity and all of that sort of thing, he'll be grand. And look forward to an update tomorrow night to let us know he's okay and it all went well. I'm sure it will do. Where did I get to? Hold on. Oh, right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, wasn't it? So now that Stigbürt is all legal, then at the beginning of next month, we are going on a. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Jason. I'm feeling very emotional at the moment. Well, not surprising, is it? I mean, you're going to be shitting yourself. Any one of us would be. Any one of us would be. And he's a married man with 4 kids. And, you know, you're going to. Human nature, isn't it? You're going to worry about the worst. But it won't happen. Not with all that slot behind him. Absolutely can't. So, John will most definitely be around to hear about the road trip in the beginning of December. Me, Neil, and Sophie, and if any of you want to come, you'll be more than welcome. We are going back to the. Well, I'm going back. They haven't been there yet. Well, they might have, but we're going to back to that Travelodge in Rill, and we're going to have a little road trip and convoy. It's going to be an MGZT fest because I'm going to be doing it in Stigbürt. And Neil is going to be doing it in, oh Christ, what's the name of his car? Project, God almighty, I've forgotten the name of his damn car. Bruce, thank you. That's right, Bruce, yeah. Project Bruce, his MG ZT 160, the 1.8 turbo, in the correct color of silver. And we are going to meet at the cafe at the top of the Horseshoe Pass. And Neil, the fucking lunatic, said, let's get there early and meet for breakfast. And I said, have you never met me before? I don't do early. I don't do early starts, especially not after a busy night at the bloody restaurant. And then I haven't replied to the last one. Then he suggested 12 or 12:30. That's pushing it. What about 2 o'clock, Neil? 2 o'clock would be good, or 1:30. breakfast, my ass. Like I'm going to get to the top of the horseshoe pass in time for breakfast. But yeah, we're going to meet at the cafe, whatever it's called. I've forgotten. It's not the Rest and Be Thankful, is it? Or is it? We're going to be meeting at the cafe at the top of the horseshoe pass. And then we're going to drive in convoy to Rill. And then we are going to have we're going to have a good night. We're going to have a good night. There's now we'll eat something, I imagine. There's a Chinese restaurant. It's called the Laughing Buddha, and I really fancy that. I really fancy trying that if they're up for it. But you know, that's up for discussion. And then we will get very drunk, and we'll do a live stream, and we'll have a lot of fun. And then we'll have breakfast in the morning and come home, I suppose. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a laugh. And we haven't actually mentioned the date, but I assume it's the first Monday in December. So if any of you lovely lot fancy coming along as well, you would be more than welcome. I'll confirm the date. I'm presuming it's the first Monday in December, because I said I'd do it on the first Monday of the month. I couldn't do this month, November, as it happens, but December definitely going to happen. And yeah, you'd be more than welcome, and we're going to have a really good laugh. It's cheap as chips, darlings. The price might go up a bit as we get closer, but the last time we looked, it was 34 quid. I should confirm the date with Neil so that I can get it booked before it gets more expensive. I won't be booking breakfast. I will try and blag it again because, you know, it's fun. And that's it. That is your Stigbürt news. Oh, the other news is that I did swap the stereo, and I'm glad that I did. So Stigbürt now has the Stigbürt gramophone is now 4th of December. Thank you, Neil. Right, 4th. I'm gonna book that tomorrow or whenever I've got some money. But I'm definitely gonna book it. So Stigbürt now has the stereo, the Sony stereo that came in Sir Richard and Lady Morris, Dick-a-Dum-Dum. And I'm so glad I swapped it. Now, the stereo that came out is, I'll show you. Now, this looks like an aftermarket stereo. It's a Kenwood, but that is actually OEM for a ZT. And you can tell it's OEM because it's got the fittings for the, it's got the fittings for the steering wheel controls. So stick that in a ZT. It's CD tuner, and that will work with the steering wheel controls. That is the one that they left the factory with. So there you are. Oh God. Now, obviously, I took the Sony out of Sir Richard and Lady Morris because it's blue, and there's no hint of blue on the interior lighting arrangement of Dick-a-Dum-Dum. And I really wanted to put the original in because it's that amazing Becker, whatever it's called, like the best stereo in the world at the time. Something else I need to bribe Neil to do is to sort out the aerial on Dick-a-Dum-Dum so I can get that stereo fully working. But the Sony, which is now in Stigbürt, is brilliant. I knew it was a reasonably good unit, but I only played with it on the way back from collecting Dick-a-Dum-Dum from the lovely Mr. Lloyd down very near to the south coast and driving it home. And then I ripped it out and put the Becker in. But it's a brilliant, brilliant unit. Probably the best gramophone I've got. Really, really good. And the more recent, that's a 2019 stereo, I think. And the more recent ones have got, you can change the color on them. And I think that one of the colors you can change the illumination to. does match the ambient Rover orange. So that would be what. Anyway, the point is, he's in Stigbürt. The blue matches all of the blue, and it's a fabulous unit. I've really enjoyed using it. So that was a good swap. And that is the end of your Stigbürt news, I think. What else do I need to tell you about? Oh, yes. So, running out of time. I'm getting increasingly drunk. Oh, nearly half a bottle gone. Excellent. So it's the 4th of December, if any of you fancy a Monday night at the seaside with me and Neil and Sophie. Yeah, so I will go back to the comments, make sure we get through all of those, and then I'll tell you about the celebrity mustard and Boaty do lunch things. And you're going to be excited about this. We're excited about this. Right. Now, where was I? Yeah, yes, I did that one. I did that one. I did that one, and I did that one. Video title says cheeseburger, probably too long. He was a fast machine. I kept him warm and clean. Was the best damn Rover that I'd ever seen. Yes, way too long. The advisor isn't nothing to worry about, says Joe. Most of them can be sorted with a good wax oil. I never concern myself about advisories, says Mark, unless it's corrosion or tyres. Yeah, very wise. Oh, this is a good question, Joe. What car is next on the MOT list? Very good question, and it's coming up really quite soon. The next car on the MOT list is Melody Minchbag, the MGTF, and that's a little bit of an unknown quantity, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, next Monday is not happening. That's not a thing. Mustard is away for a family event. So the next Yard Monday will be a week on Monday. Whatever date that is. I don't know. It'll be before the 4th, won't it? And so that will be MOT day for Melanie Minchbag, I think. I think her MOT is due on the 28th of November. So, yeah, she's next on the list. And I think it's the 27th, because I think that day will be the first celebrity mustard and Boaty do lunch. Yes, the 27th. Hasn't been fully confirmed yet, but I'll come on to that in a minute. Let's get through the comments. Is Storm Debbie causing problems at your way, asked Mark? Not too bad here at the moment. Let me have a look outside. I can hear the wind howling. The rain was biblical on the way home and making driving conditions very poor indeed. At the yard, the wind was ridiculous. I mean, it was throwing big things about, blowing them about. We thought the caravan was going to rock over at one point. But touch wood, everything is basically okay. Neil says, part one, placed by me, does tyres for cheap. I'll pop in and have a word tomorrow. Bless you. Mustard says the bulkhead is higher in the ZT/75. The 25 has really good visibility, and so does the Freelander. Yeah, I agree with that. And there's definitely something about it. I was driving home tonight, and I just thought, it suddenly occurred to me, driving rain, visibility is bad anyway. And I just thought, this is harder than normal. I've not driven the ZT or a 75 for ages. And I just thought, this is much harder than normal. No wonder I had that bump on that night. Most seats wear over time, says Joe, especially ones with bolsters. Oh, and Cheeseburger says, good luck, John. We're all with you. Let Boaty know it's been a success. Yeah. John, when you watch it, he'll ping me. He'll ping me as soon as he can. Oh, hello. Sophie's here. Hi, everyone. Oh, bless you, Soph. Of course you did, didn't you? It was Sophie's uncle's funeral today. So, oh, hope everything went as well as these things can. And we all send condolences, and we are all sorry for your loss. Jimmy Quinn says Boaty is on his dating site. I did join Tinder. Oh God, yeah. I said I would for the crack, just so I could talk about it on singles. Although I've not had time to be on singles much, but I did join Tinder, and funnily enough, I was messaged there by a lady tonight, just before the live stream. And I had to sort of cut short the conversation and said, I'm really sorry, I've got to go and do a live stream, YouTube live stream. And she said, oh, no way. She said, I do guest paneling on YouTube, meaning that she appears as a guest on YouTube live streams. And she said, I was one of the first channels. And she said that my channel had 450,000 subscribers on YouTube, 450K. And then my channel was banned in 2013, 10 years ago. God, imagine that, 450. And she said that it was a truther channel. I don't know what that means, truther. And she had 450K subs. And she also said that before she lived where she does now in Sheffield, she lived halfway up a mountain in Snowdonia, which is fun. I'm wondering if truther means it's one of those channels where they tell the truth about stuff. Tell the truth. In other words, they spread a load of batshit crazy conspiracy theories, but maybe I'm wrong. But 450K subs. I mean, that must have been doing money, good money. And imagine that being banned. So it was obviously something, well, I don't know. But there you go, Jimmy. You're quite right. Hope you're okay, Sophie, says Joe, and your uncle had a nice send-off. Mustard says, John, we're all thinking about you. We are, John, we are. And we're thinking about Sophie, who's had a difficult day having lost her uncle. Oh, and cheeseburgers. So don't mind Cheeseburger talking about condensation. We were talking about it earlier because I don't understand it. Don't worry about that. I'd love to come on the 4th of December or the 5th or whenever it was, says Joe, but I don't think I'll have the quids. And plus, Michael Jackson, the lovely rover, has a really bad sticky caliper. Oh dear. Get it done under warranty, says Cheeseburger. 2 p.m, says Mark, a gentleman's start. Absolutely. Half the bloody day's gone by then. I've got to get some arcade time in. Well, I can do that the next day. Oh, God. We can't book into the hotel until... Oh. 1 o'clock then, Neil. How about 1 o'clock? And then we can have a spot of lunch and we can roll into Rill by about 3, book into the hotel, go and do your arcades, and then sort out there. That'll be all right. I can do 1 o'clock. That would mean leaving here at like 11, something like that. I can manage that. So says, hi, Boaty, how are you? I'm great, Sophie, thank you. Didn't realise you were on. Sorry, had a busy day. Don't apologise, Sophie. Of course, you had a difficult day and a busy day, and hope you're doing okay, my lovely. Thank you for being here. But have a fantastic time, says Joe, and enjoy the cars and the scenery and don't get too drunk. You know we're going to get too drunk, Joe. You know we're going to get, oh, come off it. Let loose in a hotel, in Rill. We're going to be absolutely lagging. And you can all enjoy it with us because we will be live streaming. Oh, Joe's tried claiming under warranty and they've rejected my claim. Nothing to do with me. That was not a mustard and Boaty car. That was a mustard and senior mustard car. But Joe, it's looking fantastic, mate. It's looking fantastic. Oh, and Joe, can I see, please, pictures of your, you said you fitted a dash cam front and rear. Can I see pictures of it if you fitted it properly? And I'm assuming that you have. You're a clever chap and you know how to fit things properly, not just drooping them around like mustard does. I'd love to see pictures of that, please. Hang on. Right, 4th of December, brilliant. Oh, Sophie didn't realise that she was going to Wales, but yeah, I thought Kenwood made food mixers. They probably do. Well, yeah, they do. The Sony radio looks the part in Stiggy. It's brilliant. And Joe says Sony radios are really good and reasonably priced. There's one in Halford that I'm eyeing up for Michael Jackson. As board of tapes and radio, and I have a rack of CDs I could use. And you can change the color to orange. Yeah, and it's brilliant unit. John Marucci says he didn't say that. He said he said 75 straight ZT has a windscreen that slopes way too steeply and it makes the front cabin seem claustrophobic. Look at them from the side. Oh, that might be it. Oh, Andrew's here. Hi, Boaty and everyone. My condolences to you, Sophie. Oh, and it is fitted correctly, says Joe. Yeah, I'd love to see the pics on that. If you want a dash cam hardwiring in, give me a shout, says Neil. Neil, I need so many things from you. I just want to spend the rest of my life coming down to your place on a Monday and bribing you with Momo to get stuff done. Right, and I've caught up with comments. So the last thing to tell you about, because I really do need to go now, is the mustard and Boaty do lunch celebrity thing. So I won't go mad because you'll be able to see the video in the next couple of days. Okay, so today we got in contact with 3 bona fide celebrities. And we have had 3 responses. I'm not going to tell you who, but you can probably guess. Now, oh, how much of a clue shall I give you? No, I haven't, Andrew. Didn't get to meet Ross, sadly. And he was here earlier. He's gone now because he needs sleep, and it's his flight tomorrow morning back down under. He went to the Project Nigel meetup on Sunday that I couldn't go to. He went to the Milkston Road. He had a kebab in Istanbul, and he met everybody. And he went to the NEC and he met Simon and Rob, Bids and Bangers, Smashing Pistons. But no, sadly, we didn't get to meet up. Right, okay, celebrities. So 3 celebrities so far have been messaged and 3 have responded. One is massive. Oh, God, what can I tell you without giving it away? You can probably guess anyway. Well, all 3 have responded positively. So, yeah, all 3 have said, yeah, I'm up for it. So there you go. There you go. It's going to be happening with Yeah, it is a shame. Oh, Sophie's off. Good night, Sophie. Yeah, good night, my lovely. Uh, Catch up with us properly another time. I know it's been probably a long and difficult day for you, and bless you. Hope everything went well, and have yourself a safe and peaceful night. And it's time to say good night to everybody. So let's all say our good nights. But yeah, so 3 celebrities contacted, and they've all said, yeah, I'll do it. One of them we're going to have to travel for, so it won't be in the caravan. The other 2 will be in the caravan, and one is a buy one, get one free. So one of them is going to actually be 2 of them. And we've penciled in the first one for a week on Monday. So there you go. It's happening. And we're going to, we really are going to crack on with this. The Mustard and Boaty Do lunch thing is going to become a real thing. Charlotte Church, Carol Vorderman, and Nigella Lawson. No, none of those. One of them is much more famous. 2 of them, arguably. Cheeseburger says, if you're doing a video with hubby, I'm unsubscribing. I can confirm that Mr. Hubner is not one of the 3, but we will be inviting Mr. Hubner. That will happen. But our cunning plan is to get a few up and done before we invite Ian to make it more awkward for him to refuse. Joe got followed on Instagram by James Batchelor. I was well happy. I've got no idea who that is. I can help with Nigella Lawson, says Cheeseburger. Gosh, I'd probably need some help with Nigella Lawson. I mean, there's a lot of her, and I'm only one man. I've only got 2 hands. So there you go, darlings. That is it for tonight. That is your Monday Night Live. Thank you so much for being with me. What do we need to say? Right. Thoughts and all positive thoughts and love go to John. If you're watching this, mate, you'll be fine tomorrow. 8:30 a.m. Everybody keep those positive thoughts. All of our loves goes to Sophie, who's had a difficult day, lost her uncle, said goodbye today. So hope you have a good night, Soph, and I hope it was as good a day as these things can be. It's always difficult, and hope you're doing all right. You know where we are if you need us. And our thoughts to Ross, who has spent some time in the UK, met a lot of the community, not me, sadly, but next time he did go to Istanbul, we did have a kebab, and he's got a morning flight back to Australia. So we wish him safe travels, and we look forward to catching up with him. Thank you, Cheeseburger. Oh, yeah, and our thoughts and prayers go to Cheeseburger for being such a master of shithousery that... Oh, dear. What are we doing with the title? It's got to have John in it, hasn't it? The title's got to have John in it. I'll have a look back. I did some screenshots. Gosh, 18 of you still watching. Oh, and I've got 24 likes. I don't think I've ever done that before, have I? 24 likes. Oh, that's fantastic. So, shall I fart you out? I know that John Morazzi will say that the audio quality is rubbish, and it is. Thank you for your prayers, Reverend. You're welcome, Cheeseburger. I know the quality of this is going to be rubbish, but I'm going to arch you out anyway. Oh, God. See, it's a good job I'm going. My body is just disintegrating. Anything coming up that I need to tell you about? No, there isn't really. I don't know. No, nothing imminent. I don't think nothing except. There is a Mustard and Boaty Do Cars car is leaving the yard tomorrow. I won't tell you which one because Mustard will be doing videos on it, no doubt. and there's probably a mustard video for you to watch as soon as you leave this. Another one will be leaving the yard imminently. A mustard and Boaty car passed its MOT this morning with 0 advisories. Again, I won't tell you which one. So stuff is happening, stuff is going on, and there we are. Right, I'm going to fart you out. If I can find it. Apologies for the sound quality. It's this or nothing. And it's just nice to go out with that one, isn't it? Here we go. Unmute. Oh, what the hell happened there? Oh, that shouldn't have happened at all. Oh, that's half a bottle of wine for you, isn't it? Oh, hang on, let's start you again. Right, there you go. There we go, and that is that. Thank you so much for your company, everybody, and thank you for your time, and thank you for the likes, and thank you for your love and thoughts for the other members of our little community. And have yourselves a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves, and yeah, have the best day that you possibly can tomorrow. It's been lovely catching up with you. Much love from me, and I can't wait to catch up with you again 11 o'clock tomorrow night, Tuesday night live. Thank you and good night. Good night, darlings.